In this final lesson, we're going to go and have a look at what the functions of dreaming are. So basically, why do we dream? What's the point in having dreams? What kind of purpose does it fulfill? So we're going to explore why we dream effectively. What purpose does it fulfill? Does dreaming fulfill? And what's important to note is the difference between researching dreaming versus researching, let's just say, sleep stages, because there's been a lot of research on the functions of different sleep stages, and then there's been less research on the functions of dreaming itself. So, for example, when it comes to the function of REM sleep, for example, which stands for rapid eye movement, it's basically been proven that it includes things like regulation of body temperature, reconstruction of brain circuits, etc., etc., etc. These are the functions of having REM sleep. However, when it comes to dreaming, it's harder to kind of link any functions of sleeping with the functions of dreaming. They don't seem to be connected phenomenon. So Hobson in 2009 suggested that there was a link with the functions of REM sleep and the functions of dreaming. So this is one theory that sort of counteracts the idea that there isn't a link between the two. And he called this the sort of theory of the sort of proto-consciousness theory. And he suggested that REM sleep plays a very key role in fetal development by providing what he described as a virtual world before the emergence of full consciousness. So almost REM sleep and dreaming during REM sleep provides the brain with virtual consciousness, a sort of simulated consciousness, which could exist before the emergence of real consciousness, which is one theory. Okay, sleep is also suggested to contribute to the consolidation of memory. So this is one theory here. However, when it comes to the functions of sleep in relation to memory consolidation, there is very little to suggest that dreaming has an impact on the consolidation of memory during sleep. So we've got theories and arguments and research that suggests that sleep consolidates memory, that it helps create the connections within the brains that allows you to remember things. But there's not really much evidence to suggest that dreaming helps in any kind of way to the consolidation of memory. So we're starting to come up with a number of issues. We've got a number of problems that we're having here. There doesn't seem to be any kind of real function of dreaming. We found that there are the reasons why we sleep, but there doesn't seem to be very many reasons for why we dream. For example, in research done by Foss et al., in 2003, there was argued that dreams don't really rely on the recall of episodic memory. So there's not really much to suggest that it can be useful in the consolidation of said memory. When you dream, you don't really dream about memories you have. You dream about, a number of random things. So there's not really any, sense in suggesting that dreams can consolidate episodic memory if dreams are not really related to episodic memory. So that's one bit of research that occurred here. Another interesting thing when it comes to the functions of dreaming comes when we look at bad dreams and nightmares. There's a little bit more research done regarding the functions of bad dreams and nightmares. So there are prominent theories that suggest that dreaming and having bad dreams and having nightmares serves the function of potentially contributing to some kind of emotional processing. Evidence of this shown is more clearly when it comes to bad dreams and nightmares. So it could be seen as a way to process one's emotions or trauma by having these bad dreams and having nightmares. evidence of this could be seen with patients who have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and they're at a heightened risk of having bad dreams and nightmares about said experiences. And so some suggest that nightmares and dreams that of that kind are ways in which the brain is able to try and process emotions. There's also a deeper theory known as threat simulation theory, which is really where we're going to begin when we start to look at the functions of dreaming. So threat simulation theory is the idea that dreams serve some kind of evolutionary function. That by having dreams, the brain could act in a kind of simulation of threatening events so as to better prepare one for the survival of said events in reality. So if you have a dream, and this could be seen as being quite useful, evolutionary. If you're dreaming about threats and ways in which you can prepare yourself for said threats, that might give you an evolutionary advantage when it comes to dealing with those threats in reality. And so that could be a trait that is passed on. A similar alternative to threat simulation theory is the idea of social simulation theory, because right now threats don't seem to be the kind of driving factor within our psychology as they did tens of thousands of years ago. Maybe now dreams serve a social function. The idea that dreams simulate social environments to support some kind of social cognition and develop social skills. That you dream about social environments, your brain almost simulates social environments, and that equips you with the skills needed to deal with social scenarios in reality, which is another way in which we could argue about the functions of dreams. So just before we finish off by looking at the functions of dreams, we're going to tackle probably the main problem with functional dreaming, the idea of dreaming having some kind of function, and we can work out what this function is. Whenever research is done into the function of dreaming, there will always be one problem that needs to be overcome, and that is how we explain why a majority of dreams are forgotten. Because if dreaming is meant to serve a particular purpose, if it's supposed to have a function like threat simulation or social simulation theory, then why do we forget the vast majority of dreams? Surely it stands to reason that if, for example, if we to accept threat simulation theory, if dreams serve the function of simulating threats that we can be better prepared for, what's the point in doing that if we forget the dreams as soon as we wake up? Which is the theory. Well, in 1983, Crick and Mitchinson suggested that REM sleep could be a way for your brain to delete and to sort of erase surplus information. So to try and shift and sort information in your brain. And this actually overcomes the problem when we're looking at the function of dreams, because in turn they suggest that when we remember dreams, this is actually a bug within the function. We're not supposed to remember dreams, because we are supposed to forget dreams, because the purpose of REM sleep, when dreams mainly occur, is for you to delete information and to delete memories that you don't need. So that's possibly one way in which you could explain how dreaming might have some kind of function, but that they also become forgotten. You could also argue that dreams have no function, and that's why they're forgotten for the majority of the time. Dreams are just, flashes of neural connections within the brain, and that would also explain why they are often so absurd, or involve some leaps in logic. So these are the things that we have to look at when we're talking about the psychology of dreaming. In summary, then, what we have done is explored a number of theories when it comes to the functions of dreaming. Okay, we have looked at a little at the functions of sleep and how it's quite difficult to link the functions of sleeping to the functions of dreaming, because we can be pretty can rest assured be pretty safe with our suggestion that that sleeping has a number of functions that have been well researched. but it's quite hard to suggest that those functions also apply and extend to dreaming. And then we looked at a number of theories regarding the functions of dreaming. So we looked at the threat simulation the threat simulation theory, and the social simulation theory, and we also looked at the theory that dreams might not even have a function. It could just be a part of REM sleep whereby you erase, unwanted, unneeded memories, unneeded bits of information, and that dreaming is just a byproduct of that. So, in summary for the whole course, we've covered dreams. I've covered many endeavours. Okay, so we've covered a number of different topics. We began by looking at the sort of metaphysical problems that dreaming provides, specifically Descartes' dream argument and the counterexamples to Descartes' dream argument, whether or not we know we are dreaming or not. We've looked at the ethics of dreaming, which is a very interesting problem. The work of St. Augustine. Can we ever know? Can we be immoral when we are dreaming? And then we finally went beyond philosophy into the psychology of dreaming by looking at the meaning of dreams and to also look at the functions of dreaming. So I hope you've enjoyed this course. Feel free to rate the course. Have a go at the project section in the bottom. There's going to be some problem questions. There's going to be some research questions. Also, if you're interested more in the first topic, the idea of we being in a simulated reality, i.e. we are all dreaming, take a look at my course on whether or not we are living in a computer simulation. And if you like that, I've got courses on logic, on perception, on the philosophy of Stoicism, the philosophy of personhood, and also on the philosophy of artificial intelligence. So feel free to take a look at any of those when you want to. Thank you very much for watching.